So Battlefield 6 has officially been announced. So what we know so far about the game is that it's gonna take place in the future and it looks to be very different from what we're normally used to. But with the big changes that are coming on, a bit of news kinda hasn't really sat right with gamers. For starters, the game will only feature a multiplayer. So this is the same route Call of Duty Black Ops 4 faced when it released, and fans were just not pleased. However, with Call of Duty, I've always been the type to only play the campaign once and never touch it again. And with this year's Call of Duty, I literally only played it for 1 hour, and I haven't touched it since. But with Battlefield, I can say the campaigns are actually pretty good, and I know a lot of people look forward to it. But what's really interesting is that we can kind of confirm that Sony and Microsoft are really pushing for a $70 price tag for their next-gen games. And this is leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I've already made a video going over the issues with $70 games, check it out if you haven't seen it yet, but I feel like with this scenario, it's a good time to revisit this topic. So before we even dive deep into this conversation, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 200 subs, and I think we could probably hit it by the end of this summer. Anyways, my name is Kwesi, and today, let's have a discussion about Battlefield 6. So like I said, I already made a video going over the $70 price tag and what companies need to do in order to warrant the price. With Battlefield, the question boils down to, what does this game have to offer? So far, we know the game will only feature multiplayer. There won't be any other game mode included. This means the expectations is set so high. EA cannot release a broken game without any backlash following it. EA is already a company that doesn't have the best relationship with its fans. Games like Madden NFL, FIFA, and definitely Star Wars Battlefront all got and are still receiving pretty bad reviews. And this is also the same with some of their Battlefield games. Just take a look at Battlefield 5. With Battlefield 5, I just feel like a lot of people were upset with the fact that EA was trying to go full SJW by including women in the game, given the fact that there was really no women on the front lines during World War II. And also it felt like EA was okay with all the inaccuracies just in the name of representation. I personally don't care because simply when it comes to things like this, it boils down to just the gameplay. Yeah, it's kind of inaccurate to conclude women, but why does that matter if the game is good, right? Well, then you might ask the question, was the game good? Well, let's just say given the way the release trailer was handled and the way fans reacted, people were already on the edge. And this was even made worse with the way the developers handled the response. Some of them calling the gamers childish or misogynistic. So when Battlefield released with so many bugs, fans wrote it off as one of the worst Battlefield games in existence. So now with the news of a new Battlefield, I feel like expectations are set so high that if DICE and EA fail, there's no going back from this. I think games costing $70 for next-gen upgrades is giving a sort of false hope. EA is also still releasing the last-gen version of the game, so I'm curious to see how different the two games are. Because if it's the exact same game, what would be the point of buying a next-gen version, where you could, say, buy the PS4 version and just play on your PS5? So it begs the question, what is the next-gen version going to offer? Is it just going to be graphical upgrades? If so, then what's the point of even buying it? And this is what fans are kind of outraged about. Now I want to point out, I don't think this is a lot of people saying these issues, but for the people that are, I can kind of understand where they're coming from. So the outrage stems from a few things. One is, how is EA going to handle microtransactions? For starters, we should all expect that somehow, some way, they're going to sneak in microtransactions. I think most likely it's going to be in the form of a battle pass. Now, I don't hate battle passes and I prefer this method than any other microtransaction method. However, I hate games that include a battle pass with some other type of system, kind of like what Call of Duty does. Yes, you have a battle pass, but you can't get the best skins in the game without buying them or putting a bunch of hours into the game and grind out the battle pass. However, the exception with Call of Duty is that with Cold War, it has two different game modes to play alongside, with Warzone and Zombies, so there's always stuff to do in the game. This is why I feel like Battlefield only having a multiplayer, it needs to come out strong because we don't have any other game modes to rely on if we're just getting tired of the multiplayer. Another big thing fans have been hitting on is the game only releasing with 7 multiplayer maps. Now this I can understand because given that the team has only been working on a multiplayer, it should at least release with more than 7 maps. From what I've seen on Twitter, this seems to be everybody's biggest issue because it feels like they're hiding content. How they plan to release more content is yet to be announced, but given EA's past, fans are a bit skeptical. Now my thoughts about this is that I'm not too worried about the game. Now it costing $70 doesn't really sit right with me because it's only coming with a multiplayer. So the game's performance falls solely on how well EA can create a good multiplayer experience. And that's asking a lot from us gamers. Now, I do have some theories on what EA might do in order to compensate for the $70 cost. So for starters, I do think EA might announce a Battle Royale for Battlefield 6. This, although I have high hopes for, might actually not happen because a lot of insiders claim that EA has no intention of doing another Battle Royale this year. But I just think that there's just has to be something more included for the next gen version of the game, and there's no way EA is going to require a price upgrade with just a few graphic changes. EA already does have a Battle Royale called Firestorm, which I honestly never really played. I've heard from a lot of people that it's decent, but it's nothing like Warzone or even Fortnite. And also from my understanding, the game mode has actually stopped receiving updates, so it's kind of just like a dead thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if EA either restarted it or made a new one. So far, no announcements have been made for a new Battle Royale, but like I said, if they do end up updating the old Battle Royale, I think it's called Firestorm. If they do end up updating it, I think this might remedy the cost of Battlefield 6 Next Gen. Next, like I said, expect a battle pass, but also maybe season. Now, if you've been playing Call of Duty, you would know that every 2 months or so, they would always give a big update adding maps, weapons, and skins. I feel like Battlefield will take the same route, but I expect them to actually give us more than Call of Duty. I mean, only having 7 maps with no other game modes, you need something to keep players occupied. With Cold War, if you finish the seasons, you can still go to zombies and grind camos, or if you're a completionist, you can go to the campaign and go for the platinum trophy. So technically, there is a lot to do. What I can see happening with Battlefield 6 is that once fans have done everything the game has to offer, it's just going to be a period of nothing to do in the game, and we might see the player base go down. Now, E3 is going on at the time of me recording this video, so EA can literally announce anything. So I'm personally not too worried about how the game is going to be, however, the concerns are still there. It's all going to boil down to how well EA handles launch day. We already know what to expect, multiplayer with only 7 maps. We also have seen examples of games launching with only a multiplayer, like Overwatch, and with that game, I really feel like they handled it pretty well. The way they did the loot boxes and the way they did the content. But the difference is that Overwatch was a new IP and Battlefield is a continuing series, so we have expectations. But that's going to do it for this quick video. I just saw the topic come up and I really want to discuss it and get you guys' opinion on it. What is your take on Battlefield 6, and are you a Battlefield fan, or did you stop playing after Battlefield 5? I'd love to know in the comment section down below. Anyways, my name is Quasi and this was just a game.